Good morning. My name is Ethan Robinett, and I'm going to read this book called Dombey and Son for this Dickens contest / school project. And so, Dombey and Son is a book about a man named Mr. Dombey and his son. He's a proud man who wants most in his life to have a male heir he can pass his business on to. His wish eventually comes true, but at great cost when his wife dies during the birth of the boy. Dombey also fractures his relationship with his daughter after the death of his wife. When the son dies at a young age, Dombey must reconcile with all those who were once close to him or face a bleak future of solitude. What an excellent summary. I just came up with that. Okay. Chapter 1, Dombey and Son. Dombey sat in the corner of the darkened room in the great armchair by the bedside, and Son lay tucked up warm in a little basket bedstead, carefully disposed on a low settee immediately in front of the fire and close to it, as if his constitution were analogous to that of a muffin, and it was essential to toast him brown while he was very new. Now, that was just a stupid line. I don't know why Dickens would ever write something so preposterous. Okay, paragraph 2. Dombey was about 8 and 40 years of age. Son about 8 and 40 minutes. Oh. Dombey was rather bald, rather red, and though a handsome, well-made man, too stern and pompous in appearance to be prepossessing. Son was very bald and very red, and though, of course, an undeniably fine infant, somewhat crushed and spotty in his general effect as yet. On the brow of Dombey, Time and his brother Care had some set marks, as on a tree that was to come down in good time. Remorseless twins they are for striding through their human forests, notching as they go, while the countenance of Son was crossed with 1,000 little creases, which the same deceitful Time would take in delight in smoothing out, and wearing away with the flat part of his scythe, as a preparation of the surface for his deeper operations. Dombey, screensaver came on, hold on. Dombey, exulting in the long-looked for event, jingled and jingled the heavy gold watch chain that had depended from below his trim blue coat, whereof the buttons sparkled phosphorescently in the feeble rays of the distant fire. Son, with his little fists curled up and clenched, seemed, in his feeble way, to be squaring at existence for having come upon him so unexpectedly. Hope I'm adhering to the dress code. I just realized that. Oh well. The house will, once again, Mrs. Dombey, said Mr. Dombey, be not only in name, but in fact Dombey and Son. And he added, in a tone of luxurious satisfaction, with his eyes half closed, as if he were reading the name in a device of flowers, and inhaling their fragrance at the same time, Dombey and Son. The words had such a softening influence that he appended a term of endearment to Mrs. Dombey's name, though not without some hesitation, as being a man but little used to that form of address, and said, Mrs. Dombey, my dear. A transient flush of faint surprise overspread the sick lady's face as she raised her eyes toward him. He will be christened Paul, my Mrs. Dombey, of course. Oh, duh. She feebly echoed, of course, or rather expressed it by the motion of her lips, and closed her eyes again. His father's name, Mrs. Dombey, and his grandfather's... Oh, I wish his grandfather were alive this day. There is some inconvenience in the necessity of writing Junior, said Mrs. Dombey, making a fictitious autograph on his knee, but it is merely of a private and personal complexion. It doesn't enter into the correspondence of the house. Its signature remains the same. And again he said, Dombey and Son, in exactly the same tone as before.